because when I walked out of the hospital, I was given resources and groups to connect with, and I did not connect with those people. Not because I didn't actively take the action to try and connect with them. They weren't my people. So, welcome back to another episode of Lemon Cake. I'm Chelsea and this is Amber, and we're just two moms with some awesome kiddos who happen to have some diagnoses, and we have a little experience parenting kids with disabilities.
That's
so
us.
We love sharing our experience and giving some tips. We're not therapists, we're not doctors. We actually don't want to be either of those things. We just want to be here to let you know that if you're on a similar journey, or you just want to tune in because you think we're cool, then we're here for you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, so on this episode of Lemon Cake, we are going to talk about
social media, which we know you may be like, ugh, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But there's some good things to it.
There's some really good things.
And that's kind of what we want to focus on today.
Yep.
So we had mentioned in a previous episode, we're going to give you we're going to try to narrow it down to three ways that you could utilize social media in a positive aspect, and the reasons that we like it.
Yeah.
So do you want to kick us off with the first one, Chelsea?
I do. And actually, before I bring up the first one, I'm going to jump down to the bottom of our notes and just say that we understand that social media can be a really dark hole for a lot of people too.
Right.
A dangerous place mentally. And that is, if you want to play the comparison game, it's the perfect place to go.
Sure is.
But there are good things. So like Amber just said, we're going to focus on those. But we also are very well aware that if social media is not for you, if it's a place where you just feel you feel worse, then you do better, then maybe these tips can help you use it properly to find your community, but also don't feel like you have to do this,
Right.
And maybe it's not the right time.
Exactly. No,
Or maybe when it is the right time, these are good resources.
Exactly.
Yeah. So first thing is, and this is really cool because I met my first family that also has a child with the same GSD 1A diagnosis that Kenan does. Because of the use of hashtags. And I was actually the one using the hashtags. I created a social media account. I have my personal one, but I also created another account, Heartwork. And I was sharing some of Kenan's journey and experience there and using the glycogen storage disease type 1, all of these things in the hashtags in case somebody needed me, maybe they would use it and find me. And this amazing family in the same state actually found us that way, sent me a message, and then that night we were on a Zoom call with them and just really connecting, and we've been friends for a couple of years now. We've met in person, and it's been a great experience because of a hashtag.
Isn't that crazy that like someone that you would have never connected with otherwise? And that's what I love so much about this.
Yeah.
And you have such a similar walk and journey in life, and it was something as simple as sharing a hashtag on social media.
Yeah.
And I have to chime in and say I've had very similar experiences to Chelsea in this aspect because I too started sharing about Kai's journey on social media, and I personally was also using the hashtags, but I didn't even really think of it in that aspect, which was funny. I was just kind of doing it in case other people wanted to see it as a resource.
Yeah.
But I started searching the hashtags, and I found so many other people in the epilepsy community that we are now actually, some of us are getting ready to see each other in person in September, and they're all over California, Alabama, Michigan, and we're in Ohio. And I would have never met these moms, and our journeys are so similar, and I've become such really great friends with them. So it's such a good advantage to have.
I love that and can echo the same thing. Our GSD community is now across multiple states. And
That's
so
awesome.
Here's some tips on using the hashtags if you are unfamiliar with that. Let's say, for example, you have a diagnosis of diabetes.
Yeah.
You can use hashtags like diabetes community, diabetes warrior, diabetes awareness, and search those and see who else is using those things. And I'm speaking specifically to Instagram mostly, which, fun fact, of all the social media platforms, Instagram actually, as of today we're recording this in June of 2023.
Yeah.
Instagram does branch the most generations, so Gen Z up through your boomers, like everybody's on Instagram,
Right.
more so than any other.
Right.
So you probably have a wider range of people, communities, and things like that to pull from there. But don't forget Facebook. Like those groups on Facebook can be really valuable
really
as far as a
helpful.
resource. We'll come back to that.
Absolutely.
But you can engage with people's posts, leave comments, and then send direct messages to foster connections and build supportive network. One note on direct messaging people: don't be a weirdo.
Don't be a weirdo.
We have a rule: DBW. Don't be weird.
I love that.
DBW. If you're gonna direct message someone, sometimes it's good to start liking their posts and like commenting and just like being in agreement in the comment section first before you just like slide into their DMs.
Exactly.
And totally, unless there's a really strong connection there.
And I think that there's a right way to do this too, whereas if they are out there like actively sharing about their child too, and they're clearly comfortable talking about it, then I think that it would be appropriate to like DM them and kind of say like, wow, you know, I've seen that you've been sharing about so-and-so. I have a similar experience. Like, I would love to connect with you more.
Yeah.
Keeping it short and sweet. If they're really not so much and it's just kind of here and there, maybe just test the water, because maybe that parent's just not in a position of being ready to share
That's
about
true.
that yet.
That's true, because again, it's social media. You can't see somebody's like true life.
Right, exactly.
And on that note, before we jump into one of the other points, when you are chatting with somebody on social media, don't dump out your life story. That's a great way. I know a lot of us when you are going through something hard, you can be bearing the weight of the world, and you don't want to dump that weight on somebody else and make them run away from you, because you want to create the community. So little doses.
Tiptoe.
Yeah. Don't
It's kind of like
overwhelm.
dating. At least, I don't know, maybe, I haven't dated in a long
I
time.
know. Did you ever? Well, I'm sure you've seen How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yes.
So don't do that.
Don't do what she
Basically,
does.
take those tips. Don't do that.
Exactly. Follow
Apply the
How to
steps.
Lose a Guy in 10
No
Days.
love ferns.
Right? No love ferns. No baby love ferns and
No.
weird looking dogs and sweaters.
Yeah.
Okay, guys?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
DBW.
All right. So, what other tips do we have?
Yes, other tips, and I'm going to piggyback off the hashtag stuff, because Chelsea was mentioning how you can use hashtags that are kind of like talking about diabetes community and things like that. But if the second tip is follow those advocacy organizations and some influencers that you may find that it's in that same realm, or their children have similar diagnoses to yours. Because, for example, I follow the Epilepsy Foundation of America. I also follow the Hydrocephalus Association. Those are both two large diagnoses that Kai has. And the actual organizations themselves are doing so much work, and they're fundraising, and they're huge advocates. So use some of the hashtags that they're using as well. And you might be able to find people through those organizations.
Yeah.
So if you're finding, the medical community that's connected to those organizations, then it'd be a great way for you to connect with people that are in that same walk of life as you. The other thing that I really like about these organizations is it's not just, oh, we're here to raise money.
Right.
You
There's
know,
a lot of resources.
so many
information
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the times you may have like a walk in the area that you're in that you might be able to physically go meet people and build a community. But they also are sometimes highlighting specific doctors who may be professionals or the experts per se at that specific diagnosis, and you may never know, and you could try to maybe take your child to see that doctor. So I just think that there is so much good in following those organizations, and just using the resources that they have on their accounts that could maybe help you like manage your child's condition.
Yeah, and then not in like a stalkerish way, but you can see who's following them as well.
Right.
And who's commenting on their posts, like who's actively engaged, because maybe there are other families that are actively searching the same things that you are and adding valuable content and resources, and gives you a more personal family connection along with the research.
Absolutely.
I just talked to somebody the other day who found out about a GSD conference.
Wow.
Because of one of the advocacy resources that we were both following. And I missed it because of algorithm stuff. I missed this, and she she is planning on going on this trip and let me know how it goes. But
That's awesome.
yeah, I wish
And
I could have fit that one into my calendar.
Right.
Again, I missed
Something
it.
for the future. Like
Yeah.
now that you know it's
But
a
I
thing.
wouldn't have known that there was even a conference for these
Exactly.
things. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Chelsea, do you want to dive in with the third thing that we really love or think is good about social media?
Yes. Point 3, share your journey and find support. Consider creating your own Instagram account to share your journey and connect with others facing similar challenges. Sorry, I just read that verbatim, but I actually forgot what it was.
And that
I'm like,
happens.
oh, I wrote this.
I wrote this, but let me read it.
And I did this, and Amber did this.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but for us, it's been very therapeutic, but also it's almost like it keeps us accountable in a way.
Right.
And provides meaningful resources for other people. I try to keep everything positive on our Heart Work by Kinnan account. We have an art business, but we also share a lot of advocacy and a lot of Kinnan's journey and story through that, because the reason we started our business was to actually pay off her medical bills,
Right.
and then to give her the financial resources to be able to take care of ongoing things as well. So I share about her journey. It's the most important part of what we're doing there, and creating those connections. So it's a great way to encourage meaningful conversations and to engage with other accounts and just provide value for people. So I think when you have an active participation and you're developing a sense of belonging and creating lasting connections through that platform, you also build trust with people. So if that's your thing, and you love using social media as a tool and you're consistently on it providing value,
Right.
then why not channel that into a positive place where others with a similar background might be able to have a better connection and just, again, feel less alone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've used it so many times in my own experiences. Like I said, I've built that community and excuse me, and you find those right people that fit with you.
Yeah.
Right? There's going to be a lot of other people out there that are walking a similar walk, but they just may not vibe, and that's okay. But you're going to be able to find your people.
Yes.
And they could be anywhere in the world, and that's where social media is pretty awesome. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's why we like it. We met each other through it.
Yep.
So that's always a win.
Yep. Yeah, fun fact, I was following her Planasium and Amber separately, not realizing that she owned it.
Same person.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. You're the coolest person ever. So it's been a great benefit.
I love it. So that's what we love about social media. We hope that this helped you guys out, and then you guys check in the next episode of Lemon Cake.
All
Thanks
right.
for being here.
See you later. Bye. Stylist to come
Get us ready every time.
and help us look amazing on our brand new, not making any money yet YouTube channel.
Right.
We cannot pay you. We do not have a budget.
Our budget is this,
Yeah.
and we can pay you in maybe some coffee and laughs.
Oh yeah, we can definitely pay. I can pay in coffee.
And it's good
Ooh,
coffee.
and sourdough bread.
I know, this is all what she's offering. I don't really know what I have to offer.
Laughter.
I will do
Play
my.
pass for your
I will
kid.
do a play pass.
You get a play pass.
You-
You get a play pass.
Everybody gets a play pass.
Homemade bread
And play passes. We got you. That's what we got you.
There you go. All right.